With especially aggravated kidnapping, you're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
They got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case.
Literally not true.
Dati mihi Anglican police, Fairbanks, Latino. I didn't ask you to interrupt.
Is that correct?
Oh, for Trump's sake.
Good morning, welcome. That sound is so bad. What did I do? It just sounds like through a lo-fi amplifier. Good morning, welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Something else is wrong. I don't know what it is, but I'll figure it out. All in good time. Oh, there it is. I'm not here. And now I'm way down there. Holy cow. First world problems. Go up a little bit, or just back a little bit. That might help as well. Good morning. It is Friday. Oh my goodness, it's Friday. I did a thing yesterday. I finally found all your submissions for the awards show. So Amber, I found it on my own. I didn't need your help. I found it. I noticed that 93 of you have entered some sort of submission. And by some sort, I mean some of them are complete. Some of you got your name in and then hit submit. With nothing else on it. So, this is the story of my life. Something else is wrong. I don't know what it is, but I'll figure it out. This is pretty much every morning. Something's wrong. I don't know what it is, but I'll find out soon enough. Kim R., thank you very much for being first in chat. Let me put you on the screen here. Nope, that's the wrong one. I think it's over here. Let's see. SDI Extreme. So that's the one. There we go. Now we got chat on the screen. Thank you very much, Kim, for being first in chat. Appreciate that. I want to put it where it belongs, though. We're going to run that to A. Now, why is mine all messed up? Why is that not working? Still not liking it. Get rid of this top crop a little bit so I have some headroom. There we go. Now, at least I can move around my box now a little bit. It's all right. All right, welcome. Good morning. Oh, that's the other way. Sorry, I've got to figure this out while I'm looking the other direction. Crop down the left a tiny bit, and then move me left. All right, now I'm home. This is where I should be. Kim, first in chat today. Thank you very much, Kim. That means we're going to punish you. I know you'd think that the winner should get something that they like, but no, we're going to punish you with internet ownership. And you're going to do a great job because you have every other time in the past. So it's going to be wonderful. Melissa says, Till Weather Watch, thank you for the dad joke yesterday. He saw that request. He said somebody said dad joke, and he complied. Weather Watch is good like that. Pays attention to the details. Let's see. Emily says, USPS says your letter is coming in the mail today. I cannot wait. Emily, it just says Emily on the top, so that's how you know it's yours. I did just hand I went to the post office yesterday and got a stack of letters. Some postcards, some notes, some stickers were sent to me. Pretty much all but one of them had a self-addressed stamped envelope. One person just sent me a Christmas card. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Other people sent Christmas cards and an envelope and everything else. That's all great. All of those, I have put stickers in, and Mrs. R.A. is headed to the post office right now with a stack of envelopes to drop off. The ones that texted me, I still have a lot of labels to write, so I still have some more of those to hand out. But I will get on that. That's going to be a pre New Year's send out for me. Let's see. Need someone with a little more experience for sure. Colleen, welcome. Good to have you here. Let's see, what do we have? I sent you an invoice, says Grinchers. Thanks. I missed that one. It might have been shredded with all the other bills, as what bills should do. There we go. We have a birthday song today, as always. Let's see. We have Diane Tellier, Bob Merers, Claire, Mama Lou is a heavenly one, Bill, also a heavenly one, all celebrating their birthdays today. So we're going to sing to all of them. Obviously, when we do the pancake wishes, I'm not sure if they give out pancakes in heaven. I think they have something better. So I'm not sure if Mama Lou or Bill would want to, do the pancake thing. But we'll sing anyway and celebrate their birthdays as they deserve to be celebrated. And it goes like this. I'm going to sing. You're going to sing with me. It's pretty simple that way. So everyone stand up, take a deep breath, shoulders back. Project your voice to the back of the room. Blend your voice with your neighbors. Warm up with me, if you will. La 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 la. That was a good one. That was a good one. It was really good. All right. It's going to be a good day. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Dan Tellier, Bob Merz, Claire, Mama Lou, Bill. Happy birthday to you. To everyone who's celebrating a birthday today, or who all the birthdays are celebrating, happy birthday. Thank you very much. We wish you the very best of days today. I realize there are a million places could be, a million people could celebrate with, but you've chosen to be here with us. The privilege and pleasure is all ours. We're going to return that to you and make your day just a little more specialer. Help yourself to free pancakes at Denny's, IHOP, Village Inn, Tammy Dunlap's house, Andy's Bar and Grill, McDonald's, wherever else they have them. Thank you. Oh, the vibrato. That was me just shaking. That was not... I'm shaking because I ate too many of Mrs. R.A.'s cinnamon rolls this morning. And I did the double frosted ones. Oh my goodness. It's basically, imagine having like a spoonful of sugar dipped in honey. So I'm like flying high on sugar, which means nap time will be here soon. But too much sugar is where I'm at. That was a good day. Thank you, everyone who's for the singing. You sounded fantastic, by the way. Happy birthday to your daughter, Claire, Sharon. Happy birthday, Claire. So you came in time to direct the dancers. Good job. I think I got all the birthdays. Go up mod chat. There we go. Nothing wrong with that. Drum solo, big finish. Excellent job, everybody. Appreciate that. Happy birthday. Glad we can celebrate with you. Thanks for coming here to celebrate as well. Appreciate that. All right. I see drums all over in chat. Rando says, guess I'm not seen here. Who's looking? Because we see you. We see you. Who's not looking, I guess I should say. But there's just a couple of you here, so I do apologize if I miss the message. We've got about 450, 500 people. Where are we today, though? Oh my goodness. Josh tells me we need to go a certain place. Let's see. Happened yesterday. Sent me something. Ooh, with Middleton? Judge Middleton did this? Where's my... Why is camera 2 not working? Let's do this. Stop. What's camera 2 doing? Oh, Snoopy is here. Introducing our most adorable screensaver yet. See all our screensavers, including arrows. Why? I got a Snoopy screensaver. I mean, why do I need this? I mean, it's cool and all, but okay. Apparently, Apple TV now has Snoopy, which is just great. I think we're all better now knowing that. search. We need bond violation matter 3B, District Court, December 26, 2024. Okay. Which one's first? The one that says bond violation not continued, right? Let's go here really quickly, see what Josh has in store for us. This was yesterday with Judge Middleton. We missed this one. Give him a second for the judge to get everything going and say hi. He's I can hear the sound. Somebody sniffed. So I know we've got sound. I'm going to try to fix my little box in the corner while we do this. Give the judge a minute.
This is file number 242131FT, People versus Logan Keith Thomas. That's you, sir?
That's right.
You're here with your lawyer, Mr. Anastasi Marku. Also present is Prosecutor-elect Deborah Davis on behalf of the people. Mr. Logan, let's start at the beginning. You got charged in a complaint that was authorized by Ms. Davis earlier this month. Count 1 is operating with a suspended, revoked, or denied driver's license causing a death. It's alleged that on December 2nd in a snowstorm that you were driving with a suspended license, and by the operation of that vehicle did cause the death of a young man named Anthony Miller.
Oh,
Second count, you were operating the vehicle without any insurance. We get lots of people doing both of those things, driving suspended and driving without insurance. When there's a death, it becomes a felony, punishable by up to 15 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $10,000. You're also charged as a fourth habitual offender, making it theoretically punishable by up to life imprisonment.
Thanks for changing your name back. I appreciate that, Iris.
You were arraigned on that charge, and bond was set by me in the amount of, I believe it was $75,000 cash or surety.
I think it was 100,000. Yeah.
100,000.
100,000.
Yes, there it is, 100,000 right in front of me. I ordered that you not use any drugs or alcohol. I ordered that you possess no weapons or firearms, no assaultive behavior, wear a GPS monitor, and no driving. I also ordered that you must report to the day reporting center on the very next day and sign the condition to agree for testing. So you did. I believe you're on the GPS monitor now, and you signed that on December 3rd. You and I were, I think, over the Zoom feed. I appointed attorney Ross Truckee to represent you.
He's reading the whole file here. It must be bad.
There were records made at that time that I set the bond about some previous fails to appear, possible case out of California, a driving suspended ticket in Kalamazoo from November. So bond was set in the substantial amount of $100,000. Pre-exam conference was originally set It's hard to do this in electronic form. For an earlier date, it's presently set for January 7th, which is my day. As I indicated, Mr. Truckee was counsel at that time. There was discussion that you were in discussion with the Levine and Levine law firm, the Marcoux law firm, and that you were going to be retaining Anastasia Marcoux, and he's here with you today. Sometime last week, I think this substitution was executed. It hadn't made it to the file at the time I dealt with this last week. There was a notice that we received on Monday, December 16th from the Day Reporting Center. It was Monday, December 16th was the date of the test. It was filed with the court on December 20. Well, it was filed with somebody, I guess us, on December 21st. December 21st was Saturday. So I don't know when we saw it. We first saw it on the 23rd. Ms. Davis saw it, and she moved to cancel your bond. She filed a written motion to cancel the bond, indicating that you should show cause why you should not be brought before the court for bond violation. The test
There's actually, the test was on the 16th.
16th.
The notice of the results was received on Thursday, the 19th.
All right, the one we had has a date of the 21st on it, which is a Saturday. You might have got it before we did.
That's, I think, when Pam from DRC emailed it to everybody, was on Saturday. I had gotten it from them on Thursday prior to them filing that motion.
I think that's correct. The test printed result is from the 19th. However, the test is from the 16th. I don't know when either the prosecutor or the court received those results.
All right. Now, we had a very short notice emergency hearing on Friday afternoon or Monday, the 23rd, the last day before the Christmas holiday.
Typically, it was on the 19th.
No, it was the 23rd. Oh, no, you're right. It was, let me look at my note here. It was on the 20th.
Yeah, that Friday.
Friday, not the Friday. I wasn't here Monday. It was Friday. It just felt like the last day because it was my last day. So we had an emergency hearing, show cause why bond should not be revoked. Notice was not given. They attempted to, but Mr. Thomas wasn't here. Mr. Marcoux wasn't here. And Mr. Truckee wasn't here, and neither was a public defender. I learned that a substitution was forthcoming, and Ms. Davis cited the court rule that allows the court to do a bond violation. I was not clear, and still wasn't clear, what my authority was to immediately revoke bond without any sort of hearing or due process. So I set the matter for hearing this morning. Ms. Davis represented at that earlier hearing that the laboratory reports have come back regarding the defendant's drug and alcohol tests at the time of the accident, and that they intended to be amending the charges. The petition to revoke the bond
Living Ghost, I'm sorry. You're trying so hard.
Darn it.
All right. Might need a soundbite of Judge Middleton saying, darn it. That was really good. That was clear.
And the motion to cancel bond states, And on 12/19, the prosecutor received the MSP lab report. Now, that would be for the actual driving, indicating the defendant at the time of the accident was positive for methamphetamine, fentanyl, and morphine, as well as amphetamines.
Whoa. Whoa. Did the whole medicine cabinet.
They also allege that you have 3 previous operating while intoxicated convictions. And that on the 19th, the results were received back from the day reporting center that you tested positive for methamphetamine and amphetamines on December 19th. Ms. Davis obviously was not very happy about that. Frankly, neither was I. And she asked me to revoke your bond. And is that still your request here, Ms. Davis?
Yes, Your Honor. Just to kind of clarify, bring the court up to speed too.
Now she's not going to
We haven't
sugarcoat
amended
anything
yet because we're waiting for the computer crimes unit from MSP to give us the report on the telephone usage, which could end up resulting in an additional charge of reckless driving causing death. So at least the amendment now that we know will be happening is OWI causing death, which is a 15-year as a habitual fourth, and OWI third, which would be a lesser included, depending on how that comes out, which is a 5-year, but also a habitual fourth. With the bond conditions that have been in place, it's my understanding from Attorney Marcoux that defendant has not been tested since the 16th. And so I guess part of our discussion prior to the hearing was, I'd like to have him test right now. And if it's a positive, then I would still be asking for his bond to be canceled.
She means right
And
now.
if he passes it,
Like go down the hall.
I would leave it to the court's discretion as far as a punishment or some sort of repercussions for the use of illegal substances while on bond. I obviously not immune to the idea that, with the recovery and relapse do happen, but this is a very serious situation. And Your Honor was obviously less concerned about the use because he wasn't driving, but we can't guarantee that he's not driving. We do have the GPS tether on him, which has been effective. And so we can kind of keep an eye on where he's going, but we really would like to get a handle on this substance issue. I also, in the emails with Pam from DRC, trying to get a handle on how they're doing the testing and what they're testing for. They are not testing for all of the substances that he was positive for at the time of the crash. So the test that they're using will not detect, I believe, fentanyl and maybe morphine. So they can do a 14-panel instant test. They typically only do the 5-panel, and then the alcohol test. I would ask that the court amend the bond conditions if he is going to remain out on bond, that he be required to do the 14-panel instant test and the alcohol test, and that it be on a regular instead of the random call-in, basically no less than 3 times a week, because these types of substances will typically remain in a system for up to 72 hours. If we do the 3 times a week testing, we should be able to monitor it pretty safely. So with that, I leave it to the court's discretion. Thank you.
All right, before you speak, Mr. Marcoux, let me say one more thing. One of the concerns I had is that you were in custody from December 2nd. You posted bond on December 13th. So you were in custody for 11 days.
This was a $100,000 bond?
The test that was positive was on December 16th. So it'd be 5 days after you got out of jail, you tested positive for
Wow.
methamphetamine. Let me look at it again. And amphetamine, I think.
This is up in Michigan.
Keep having trouble finding that DRC file. Now, that isn't evidence at this point. And the concern was that there's no testimony or evidence regarding that, but based on our knowledge from dealing with these sorts of things on a daily basis, methamphetamine doesn't stay in your system for 15 days. So the obvious concern was, and my concern and Mrs. Davis's concern, is you got out of jail after 11 clean days and immediately relapsed. What you're charged with is driving suspended with a death, which is a 15-year felony. As a habitual felon, makes it punishable by up to life imprisonment. In my mind, it's worse if you're intoxicated or under the influence of drugs causing a death, but it's the same offense. It's a 15-year felony. The time I set your bond, I didn't know whether you had alcohol or methamphetamine or, heaven forbid, fentanyl in your system. So the concern is that between the time you got out and the time you tested 5 days later, you'd started using again. And that is our concern. Mr. Marcoux?
Your Honor, I would ask the court to consider following the, for want of a better phrase, game plan that Ms. Davis outlined for the court. He's ready, willing, and able to test right now. I am optimistic he'll test negative for all controlled substances. If he does not, then I understand the court's decision to revoke and Ms. Davis's request to revoke. He has been attending AA, NA. I have proof of that. He has been calling the day reporting center every day since then to be able to test, but for whatever reason, because it's random, his name has not come up. I've also confirmed that in fact, he has not been driving to work. He's been getting rides from co-workers and otherwise. So I would ask the court to consider that particular plan. And obviously what I told him this morning was if the court were to give him any consideration and not revoke bond, that he would have to test more frequently. The test would be broader spectrum than it currently is. And that if he is either, if he doesn't test positive or is found driving, that at that point, the expectation would be that his bond would be revoked no matter what. There wouldn't be much argument on either way. So that is my proposal at this point. He understands that there has to be a short sanction. My concern, Your Honor, and it's not, I don't know if it's a legal argument. I don't know exactly how to phrase this, but it's disturbing that somebody signs a bond condition that talks about testing positive. You get 24 hours, 48 hours. It almost gives a sense of like a, I don't want to say a pass, but it basically gives somebody notice that this is what's going to happen to you if you test positive. And unfortunately, it can possibly create a risk that somebody thinks that's all that's going to happen to them.
Well, that's an old form.
Yeah, and I think we need a new form on this case.
And it doesn't have any due process, you know, if there's a problem with the test. Well, first of all, let's see.
Sorry, I'm filling out letters.
Whether we've got somebody to do an instant test.
My phone's ringing now. Hang on 1 second.
All right, we got somebody that can do an instant test on him. Thomas Logan.
Yeah, we got somebody. Why?
That's fine. It's casual post-Christmas, but so are Dan or Matt there?
Who's Dan?
How are you going to do it? That's for fentanyl and methamphetamine.
I think he's talking to a lady. He's like, is Dan or Matt there? It's a guy that needs to test. He needs somebody to observe the test. And how's that going to work?
All right, well, let's try that.
Yeah,
all right,
let's give it a go.
All right, bye. All right,
Your Honor, just
Yes.
to clarify, what is the level of testing that we have here? Is it
Well,
just
all
the
we have
5?
right now are the instant tests. If you want him to go to the day reporting center and come back, we're gonna sit here for an hour.
No, and I guess what my thought was is we do whatever instant test we have here,
Mhm.
assuming that that is negative for substances. I would still ask that he go and test at DRC with a 14 panel
Okay,
today so that we can get him on a more regular schedule.
all right.
Thank you.
Mr. Logan, this is very serious business. This is essentially a homicide case. The maximum punishment is up to life imprisonment. And the facts are terrible. The closer you look at it, the worse it gets. There's a lot of public interest. There are a lot of families that have interest in this. Everybody at the school, everybody in that neighborhood. And so the feeling is if you're going to be out on a substantial bond and just using meth, we might as well just cancel your bond and let you sit. When bond is canceled, in theory, the prosecutor has to bring the case to trial within 90 days or a bond needs to be set. General rule in a felony case is if the defendant's unable to post bond after 180 days, they're entitled to have a bond set. If bond is denied, you're entitled to either have a bond set or have the matter tried within 90 days. When I was prosecutor, I used to welcome it. I said, yeah, we'll try this in 90 days. But it's not always possible in this kind of case. They're awaiting laboratory reports regarding substance abuse. They're awaiting probably autopsy reports, accident reconstruction reports. These kinds of cases can take time. And because of the seriousness of it, the prosecutor charged this most apparent offense, driving with a suspended license, immediately, thinking they'd wait until the other stuff comes back. So I'm going to send you out with Ms. Kiefer from the probation department. We'll do an instant test. Your test for methamphetamine is going to be negative. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
When did you learn that your test was positive?
Thursday, I believe, last week.
Right now, I'll just leave it at that. The last thing you need in your life right now is methamphetamine, closely followed by fentanyl. That's a fairly recent phenomenon where they're combining a powerful stimulant like methamphetamine and a very powerful depressant like fentanyl. That's why we have so many people dying. All right, I'll suspend the record here for a moment. You go here in the back.
All right, we're going to find out. This is a moment of truth here. She's there with the cup. Let's make this happen.
All right, I'm gonna stop the live stream.
He says it's going to be clean, so we're gonna jump ahead to the next one and see part 2. There's the drug test lady. She's ready to testify. This is terribly sad, and I realize I love to give people chances, but it sounds like this guy got too many chances, and his chance at getting clean cost somebody else their life, and that's something you just can't fix. Meanwhile, I'm filling out the sticker for Rick Groover. Get the address on here.
All right, we are back on the record. Ms. Kiefer, thank you for your help. How did we do with the instant test?
He was negative.
Oh,
All
good.
right, very good. That test for alcohol and or methamphetamine?
It does not test for alcohol. It does not test for fentanyl, but it does test for everything else.
Test for morphine?
No. Well, it will test for benzodiazepines. It'll test for cocaine, methamphetamine, marijuana, amphetamines. It is a 10 panel. but it is not the extensive because fentanyl is a bigger test.
All right, thank you. All right. So that's positive news.
I would say he needs to be revoked anyway.
All right, Ms. Davis, in light of that new information, what's your position?
Georgia culture, 23 months.
Your Honor, as I had stated to the court before, if he tested negative on the instant test, I would still like him to complete a 14 panel at DRC today. And I still believe that there should be some sort of a sanction for what has occurred. This is not just a minor bond violation. This is use of a controlled substance, which is a felony, a 10-year felony for possession of methamphetamine. So with that, I would ask the court to impose some sort of a sanction against him for this positive test, which was lab confirmed. It does seem that from DRC's information to me, they did not tell him on Monday the 16th that his test was a presumptive positive, that they instead just simply sent it to the lab and then intended to discuss it with him sometime this week when he came in to test again. That's something that I'm going to address with DRC so that we can maybe have a better process on this.
Well, yeah, they don't always know, and sometimes, very often, they wait for lab confirmation, which certainly delays things.
Right. So with
individual
that,
that was killed was a 10-year-old child.
Point. Obviously, if there
accident.
is a positive on the 14 panel or any positives coming up in the testing, then we'd be seeking to cancel his bond.
Glad you like it.
Thank you.
All right, well, okay, I don't have a problem with that. The problem is they're very expensive. Like $45 a test.
I believe that's 45 for either one of the ones that DRC is using right now.
And so right now, the bond just left it randomly, and they did it randomly. 3 times a week would be about $150 a week for the next many weeks pending circuit court. So that is an issue, but Mr. Logan, you're still employed, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, my recollection was that you live near Vicksburg. Where do you live?
Well, that house was broken into by people while I was in jail and demolished. So right now I'm residing between my grandfather's old house that passed and my buddy Tom's because my ride.
Which is where?
Galesburg and Climax.
All right, so so it's a long way from Galesburg to Sturgis.
Yeah, I mean, I used to drive it all the time. Now I just have to get a ride.
We haven't had a valid license in years. You've been revoked for 5 years, but to get a ride, it's 50 miles from Galesburg to Sturgis.
It's a long ride.
But I have not received any information that you've been driving, and I think if you pulled up at your shop driving, the guys at the shop would rat you out.
Yeah, I would never.
So I don't have any information that you've been driving, but just the logistics of getting from where you live to where you work and testing in the meantime is daunting. So there's a significant difference between canceling your bond and ordering a sanction for a positive test. We order people not use drugs or alcohol every day, knowing that they're going to have a difficult time complying with those terms. People that are addicted to methamphetamine don't just stop using methamphetamine because the judge tells them not to. When I have a person that's on bond on a methamphetamine case, and there are a condition that says you don't use bond until I see you next time, it's like saying, hold your breath till I see you next Wednesday and don't breathe again until then. You have a very strong, powerful addiction. And I didn't know that there was a methamphetamine and or fentanyl component to this until I got Ms. Davis's motion. The charge was driving suspended with a death. There may have been some suspicions, and they called our office that morning for search warrants. And so my staff was dealing with it. And now I find that after doing 11 days in jail, within a few days upon your release, you tested positive. And that was on the 16th. Now it's 10 days later and you're negative. So we've got a baseline that you're negative. And I'm assuming you're going to be negative for fentanyl and any other substances as well. This bond condition says no drugs. Drugs like alcohol are legal. Drugs like marijuana are legal. It's legal in Michigan for people to use marijuana if they're an adult for recreational purposes. Not while you're on bond. You can't use marijuana. You can't drink alcohol. You can't take any controlled substance unless it's prescribed by a doctor. You are presumed to be innocent until the state is able to prove otherwise, but you've been charged with a very serious crime. You're also presumed to be entitled to a bond. Under very limited circumstances, the judge have authority to do no bond.
I think we've seen one judge with a man bun.
But
This
there
one just
is
has
an
a ponytail.
allegation that you violated the condition of your bond by using methamphetamine after your release from custody. Mr. Marcoux, is your client prepared to speak to that?
Your Honor, I think because of the nature of the underlying criminal cases and the nature of the allegations and the similarity between the two, I think Mr. Thomas would be more than willing to do a no contest plea to the bond violation. I just don't want him saying anything else otherwise because of the similarity and the substances that are alleged. And if the court is willing to accept that, then we can move forward with the bond violation issue.
All right. Mr. Thomas, there's an allegation that you violated your bond by using a controlled substance, specifically methamphetamine. You have a right to have a hearing on that where the prosecution must establish, at least beyond a preponderance, that you use a controlled substance in violation of the court order. You could plead guilty to that, or you could also plead no contest. By pleading no contest, you don't admit what happened. You also don't deny what happened. And I would use the laboratory report from the Day Reporting Center as evidence that you were positive for methamphetamine. Are you willing to plead no contest to that charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'll accept that and use the lab report for the factual basis. What's your work status right now? Are you shut down between Christmas and?
No, I worked yesterday. I worked 7 days a week. I work New Year's.
You work Christmas Day?
Yeah, it's livestock, so they don't know it's a holiday.
Good point. I didn't realize that was what.
What? The cows don't get a day off eating?
I'm a manager for a pig farms.
How many different pig farms do you manage?
Well, we got to do a test because someone messed up at one of the ones while I was gone and broke biosecurity, but 2.
Where are those farms?
One of them's on Nottable Road and one of them's on Featherstone.
For some reason, I thought it was a manufacturing plant. Yeah, cows and pigs don't take Christmas off. The dairy farmers are 24/7, 365.
Farmers as well.
All right.
That whining noise you hear in the background is my son's drone. He flies it nonstop since he got it.
Let's talk for a minute about what our plan is for January 7th. That would be the pre-exam conference. And I presume by that time the amended complaint will be filed.
Yes, at least as to the OWI portion. It just depends on what comes back from CCU and the accident reconstruction report, if there is going to be a reckless causing death. But
well, that could take
it could
weeks
take,
and weeks and weeks.
Yes. So I've at least discussed that with Attorney Marcoux, so he's aware.
Well, they're all the same maximum punishment, 15 years as a habitual. In my mind, obviously operating while intoxicated with a death is a more serious charge than operating while suspended with a death. But and then reckless, in order to prove that you're operating while intoxicated, they'd have to prove that you were intoxicated or at least impaired by the controlled substance. The fact that there's a controlled substance in your system doesn't necessarily establish that you were intoxicated by it. And I don't yet know what those results are. But you've got competent counsel. The prosecutor is all over this. She was on it from the first day, fortunately. And so we'll see. I'll be the judge that will be shepherding this forward. I believe January 7th is
the conference date, Your Honor.
Pre-exam date.
And when is the
theoretically, it would be January the 14th at 1.
Okay, understood.
All right. Now, you dodged a bullet in that your bond isn't canceled, but you got weaned because you're going to jail for 24 hours starting right now. Someone's going to have to tend the pigs. 1 day credit 0 for your bond violation, leaving 1 day to serve. I didn't want to set up a weekend. The jail isn't accepting weekends. There should be some immediate sanction for this. So the next one could very well result in the revocation of your bond. All right, I'm also going to amend the bond that you need at least 2 14-panel tests per week. And I will see everybody on January the 7th.
Thank you,
Your Honor, I am triple booked on the 7th. I believe that Ms. Davis and I can conduct a conference by phone or otherwise. In the meantime, I'm expecting that.
I'll be fine. You have both got to your defense, you just got in it.
I've gotten the reports. The prosecutor sent me everything last week. I've already started reviewing them. I'm thinking about, what we might be doing moving forward. Ms. Davis will communicate the offer to me before or around the 7th, and then we'll decide whether or not we'll have a hearing on the 14th.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Wow. So going forward, the 7th.
Violation.
Yes. Yep.
Surprised he only got 1 day for the
all right,
violation.
that completes
but
our morning.
He will be tried. Let me switch back here. He will be tried to have his day in court for the accident that cost the life of the 10-year-old. That is going to be a different sentencing. So we were not expecting the judge to issue a punishment on that. That's coming up. But I guess in light of the fact that he's tested clean and he is clean and he was given a bond, I don't know, man, only 1 day. That's a tough one. That is, I have a hard time. I have a hard time with that. That's difficult. All right. Yeah. 10-year-old boy killed in that crash. He's got all that stuff in his system. Okay, give me a second. Let's see if we can pull up the next one here. Okay, we've got yesterday's sentencings to look at for this one. Just one second. Sentencings 2, we're looking for... Josh, do you know about where in the video this is? Let's see. Looking for that. Oh, there he is. I see him. Pretty near the beginning.
Let's try prosecuting.
You have a collect call from the courthouse. Sorry, I'm just stamping the rest of these envelopes to get the last of the batch out. Been working double time, guys. I wanted some really cool stamps to stick on these stickers that I'm mailing out, but they only have these ones that say love on them, which that's what you're getting. I mean, it's not bad, but...
It's Mr. Sears, and I just messaged.
Who?
Nicholas Sears, and I just messaged.
Who's that?
Under prosecutor.
Oh. He's not even on my list, so he doesn't exist.
I'll tell him.
All right. Are you texting him?
Yeah, just message him.
Or Miss Spade's gonna have to review my phone list again.
Or block caller ID so that people will answer your
So
phone.
we're waiting on a prosecutor.
He's on his way.
All right.
Hang on, if the police officer doesn't show up to court, you get the ticket dropped. What happens if the
Are
prosecutor
any of
doesn't
you
show
on
up?
in-plan today?
I'm sorry?
Do any of you represent Vincent in-plan for the probable cause hearing at 10 with me? No? Are you Vincent in-plan? Okay. All right.
Vince is like, I'm right here. I'm representing myself.
So, Mr. Adams, the 10:30 with AG is off, correct?
Okay, well, she gets set for this next hearing.
Judge, I wasn't sure what you wanted to do with that.
If you send a self-addressed stamped envelope to
I'm
the
fine
P.O.
with
box, I will send one back out to you.
Well, hi there.
I just for the very last
All
last
right.
one, put the last sticker
So, Mr.
in
Raymer,
the last envelope, and I
wanna
still
come on
have
up?
about 150 stickers. So we've got some spares.
All right. Oh, Mr. Sears, you're not yet on my list. So I'm going to need your P number real quick. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Shane Leroy Raymer. Leroy or Leroy?
Leroy.
Yep. Okay. I like Leroy.
Is he wearing
File number
overalls?
23-21665FH.
Oh, no.
I have Brenda Underwood, P41009, appearing on behalf of the defendant, and I have Dan Gumto, but state your full name and your P number, please.
Your Honor, Nicholas Sears on behalf of people. Nicholas Andrew Sears. I am appearing under Michigan Court Rule 8.120, I believe, which is the observation while waiting for my bar results.
Okay, very good. All right, you had your hand up?
Who practice interim?
I fired her due to misrepresentation
I fired her.
When did you fire her?
over 2 weeks ago.
Was that in front of me?
No, that was in her office but the reason I fired her,
Well, do you have another attorney?
I will represent myself.
You're gonna represent yourself. You know, there's a very famous quote about representing yourself. Do you understand that?
Let's hear it.
That, you know, do you have a law degree?
I don't need a
Do you
law
have a
degree.
college degree?
I don't need a law degree.
Did you graduate from high school?
I don't need that either.
You don't need that to represent yourself?
Oof.
Okay, do you have access to, okay.
I
So,
have evidence that shows that the description did not match and
well, I'm not gonna get into that yet. So you're asking me today to remove Miss Underwood as your attorney,
yes,
and you wanna represent yourself.
if I.
Do you understand that even when I have court cases, I hire an attorney to represent me?
Well, I can't trust anybody in this system in this area because they all seem to be working together. This case should have been resolved a long time ago during the appeal the first time. She should have objected when the claim was made that I matched that description 100%.
Okay, so Mr. Reamer, part of what you're saying shows to me that you don't quite understand how the court procedures work, okay? So your attorney has an obligation to ethically represent you. And so before, I would have clients come to me and say, I want you to file this and I want you to file that. And I would say, there's no basis for that. And I don't file frivolous motions, or I would say to them, they have probable cause or whatever. So if you want to represent yourself, you can do that at your own risk. You have the right to represent yourself. But what I will tell you is that Miss Underwood is the bane of most prosecutors' existence, because she's a little pit bull, and she doesn't put up with a lot of guff from them, and she's a tough defense attorney. So you may not like what she says, but I feel like she's always honest. So that being said, if you want to proceed and represent yourself, you can. But you understand you're going to have to file written motions. You're going to have to follow the court rules.
This is the trial, right?
No, it's a pre-trial.
How is this not the trial? I was told this is going to be the trial. I'm supposed to be facing it. I'm supposed to be sitting here with a jury today.
No, you're not.
Yes,
you're Mr. Raymer. I schedule jury trials, and I haven't scheduled you a jury trial yet. Oh, wait. You're the one that didn't show for the pre-trial. That's why. Is that why?
Your Honor, if I could speak for a second, I think the first thing we need to do.
I'm sorry.
The bench warrant.
Yes. So, Mr. Raymer, you failed. Yeah, he failed to appear for the pretrial conference.
That's correct.
All right. So everybody stop talking for a minute. So, Ms. Underwood, thank you for reminding me of that.
Quiet.
Mr. Raymer, you had a final pretrial conference on December 11th, and we gave you a notice of hearing, and you failed to appear for that pretrial. And because you failed to appear for that pretrial, I canceled the jury trial because it cost me a lot of money to have a jury here. And so if you're not here for the final pretrial, I'm not going to trial until I get you here. So I actually issued a bench warrant for your arrest for failure to appear for the pretrial. Do you understand that? So Ms. Underwood's now asking for me to set aside that bench warrant. Is that what you said?
Thank you, Your Honor. He did demonstrate to the court that he can show up by showing up this morning.
Okay. So Mr. Raymer, so Ms. Underwood's asking me for me to set aside the bench warrant for your failure to appear on December 11th. Do you understand that? Speak.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Mr. Sears, any objection to me setting aside the bench warrant since he has it today?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So Mr. Raymer, I will quash that bench warrant. And I'm sorry, I didn't look back to see that this was the original trial date. So that's my procedure. If people don't show up for a pretrial, I set the jury trial as the pretrial. Okay. Do you understand that? So that's why there's no jury.
Yes or no?
I did answer that.
So we're recording, so we have to hear you. So you have to speak up really loud. Okay.
I said yes, ma'am.
Louder.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
There we go.
Mr. Raymer, all right. So Ms. Underwood and Mr. Sears, this is a date and time set for pretrial. Mr. Raymer, I have your attorneys did file all the paperwork. Ms. Underwood, do you want to speak to Mr. Raymer for a moment?
Your Honor, I'm not sure that would do any good.
Okay. So
if Mr. Raymer would like to speak to me, I'm more than happy to speak to Mr. Raymer.
I think Mr. Raymer.
So I'm going to quash the bench warrant. Mr. Raymer, if you want to sit down and talk with Ms. Underwood and see if you can meet a common ground, I would highly recommend that. You know, if you want to take 5 minutes or 10 minutes and talk to her, you can do that.
She's not been representing me appropriately.
All right. So do you understand you don't get another public defender?
Well, I fired her and I talked to this man. Are you Mr. Glacier?
No, that's Mr. Glacier.
Who was it that was in the office with us?
That was
Mr. Malero.
Okay, Mr. Malero and her. Why was he in the office when?
Because he's
in the.
All right. So, Mr. Raymer, if you are firing Miss Underwood, or I can grant that, but I don't have the ability to appoint another public defender to represent you.
No,
they are a separate entity.
If I can't get somebody to represent me that's doing the job appropriately, then I will represent myself. Because I can prove that I was not that person that they're claiming.
That's what a jury trial's for.
Yeah, and when it comes to the jury trial, then I will take care of it there. But I don't need somebody that's not going to represent me appropriately.
Okay, well, I really doubt that she isn't appropriately representing you, but, so Mr. Glazier and Mr. Malaro, he's asking for me to, he's asking to fire Miss Underwood, so.
If I may, Your Honor.
Yes,
Your Honor, I vetted Mr. Raymer's claims about Ms. Underwood's representation. My understanding, she conducted a preliminary examination. She also filed a motion to dismiss, I believe, that was heard and ruled on by this court. I have not determined that she's done anything that did not require, or that was not required of her. And so I denied Mr. Raymer's request to appoint a new attorney. For one of the reasons was that a trial date was imminent and it would be almost impossible for any attorney to get up to speed. Ms. Underwood is clearly ready to go to trial in this case. I think, as the court, I think, is aware, Mr. Raymer just doesn't like what he hears. So that is the reason I denied his request to have another attorney appointed in this matter, because Ms. Underwood's doing everything she can do on his behalf.
so Mr. Raymer, I guess I would ask, she held a preliminary exam, which is what you do to dispute the charges. And the judge ruled, whoever heard this, that there was probable cause and bound you over, right? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And then she filed a motion to dismiss.
There's
Is that
only one
correct?
answer to that question.
And I denied that.
Yeah, because you was.
What else is she supposed to do?
You was given false information. All she had to do is object and let it be known that I did not match the description of the person.
That's for a jury to decide.
No, that's for the.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you were trying to explain the law to me. So if you do not want her as your attorney, I will remove her
Yes,
as your
I do not
attorney.
want her as my attorney.
All right, so Miss Underwood, you are relieved of your duties. So
Miss
Mr.
Underwood
Raymer,
is
you can
relieved.
either hire an attorney or proceed as you are. So I will get another jury trial date. Mr. Raymer, you will need to file with the court jury instructions and voir dire questions. And those are gonna need to be filed by a certain date.
And how do I go about doing that?
I can't tell you because I can't give legal advice. That's why you had an attorney. So you're gonna have to figure that out on your own.
Okay, well.
I can't give you legal advice as a judge.
All right.
That's what Miss Underwood was for.
2 seconds into
She did
2
do her
seconds
job.
into self-representation.
I'm not gonna argue
Help
with
me,
Mr.
Judge.
Raymer.
Help me.
So, Miss Adams, I'm looking for a trial date.
Oh my goodness.
Judge, you want me to find the first available?
He's not in custody. It's a one-day trial, so sure, but he's not in custody.
This guy
so.
thinks that it's going to be a one-question trial where he just stands up and says, "That wasn't me. Case closed." And the freight train is coming his way. He has no clue. He has no clue. They're going to call for appearances the day of the jury trial with the jury sitting there, and he's going to start presenting evidence. That's what's going to happen. It will be. He's got the one thing. He's got the one thing in his mind. It doesn't match my description. And maybe that's great evidence. Maybe it's wonderful. Maybe he would get off if he had a lawyer. But oh my goodness! And he's wearing a shirt that looks like a bear is hugging him. I'm not sure what that's about, or it looks like the bear is climbing him like he's a tree. It's a bear hug. I think he needs a bear hug, but he also needs a lawyer. Okay, I have said that to get a sticker, you just need to send a self-addressed stamp envelope to the mailbox. I realize a couple of you have difficulty
is
making that trip,
at 9 a.m.
either logistically or because of
Does that work for you, Mr. Sears?
Your Honor,
recovery
that
from
does
various
work for the people.
various
Does that work
things.
for you?
For those that
so
have
I'm
that
gonna
problem,
set
I'll
trial
still
for April
I'll take a text
22nd
and I'll send
of
you one. I've got like
2025 at 9 a.m. And
like
I'm
25
gonna
more
set a
stamps.
final
So if there are a few in
pre-trial
that situation,
for
send me a text
Ms.
with your
Adams. Do I
address,
have April 9 available?
and I'll send it out.
Yes, Judge.
So a final pre-trial for April 9 at 8:30 a.m.
That might need a
So
super
was
chat
there
to
a
go along
plea
with
offer
it,
made in
Libby.
this file, Mr. Sears?
Your Honor, yes, there was. Would you like me to place what the offer was?
I always do, yes. I keep that in my file. Thank you.
Oh, there was an offer?
You're on. You're not on this file anymore. Thank you.
You can't talk. She She's not being
One second,
rude.
on the computer. It is slow, Your Honor.
She's not being rude.
It
She
looks
just
like the final plea
following the
offer
rules.
provided from my office was 2 counts of an attempted RML.
All right, so Mr. Raymer, do you understand the plea offer was to plead to 2 misdemeanors?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so those are 1-year misdemeanors, so it'd be 2 1-year misdemeanors in lieu of the 5-year felony, because you have, 4-year felony, police officer assaulting and resisting causing injury, and you have 2 2-year felonies for police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing, and 1 misdemeanor for disorderly person. Are there any body cams? Were those provided to Mr. Raymer?
Yes, I believe a discovery was sent to obviously the public defenders.
Okay.
If you would, obviously you would need any additional body cams or discovery, we would ask that Mr. Raymer come to the prosecutor's office and receive any discovery that he would want in person. Call ahead and they can get a file.
Okay. So I'm going to set the final motion deadline for 4/9/25. And then motion in limine for the same day as well. Jury instructions and voir dire questions will be due by April 2nd of 25. And so those must be filed with, you must provide a copy to the prosecutor's office of your voir dire questions and jury instructions, and a copy to the court on the 3rd floor of the clerk's office.
And that can be wrote out on a blank piece of paper?
No, they must be provided in full and filled out.
Okay, where would I go to get those forms?
There, you can do research on the computer. I mean, this is why, Mr. Raymer, when you're dealing with a felony and you're facing trial,
yeah,
it's important to have an attorney. And it
Yeah,
doesn't sound,
one that's doing their job, yes, I understand that.
well, you haven't presented anything to me that says she hasn't done what she's supposed to do so far. So, Mr. Raymer, you know, there's no legal services available for indigent defendants other than the public defender's office. And, you know,
You just fired them.
You can hire an attorney, but these things are required. If you don't file them, then you don't get to add them the day of trial. Do you understand that?
What's that, the evidence? I don't get to add any evidence during the day of trial?
Well, you must submit it as exhibits and witness lists. Have you got to exchange those with the
all the body cam would be considered already submitted, correct?
So you have to provide witness lists and a list of exhibits to the prosecutor's office, to my office, and then you must provide copies of that to them.
And where do I find your office at?
3rd floor clerk's office. Okay, but then you have to provide a copy to the prosecutor too.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll probably head over there for you.
But by law, Mr. Raymer, I can't give legal advice because I'm a judge.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So, Ms. Adams, could I please get a copy of this from Mr. Raymer? And I'm going to put little asterisks.
Take extra Advil this morning. That's what the asterisk is for.
Everything.
He should be taking notes. He definitely should. Because he's going to get home.
So could I get a copy from Mr. Sears?
Two beers later after he gets home, he's going to be like, what was it she said I was supposed to Google?
Ms. Raymer, again, here's, do you want Mr. Raymer's file?
Because you know he's going to go home.
Sure, you do not want to proceed with counsel.
His Google searches, how to be my own lawyer.
But I don't want her representing me.
Okay, well, that's your choice, but your other option is to hire someone. Thank you. All right, have a seat back there and we will get you a copy of your pretrial notice. All right, I have a jail Zoom open, but nobody's, oh, they put somebody else in.
Man.
Let's see. Close that breakout room, bring your client back.
Can we do,
All right, Mr. Kelly is back. All right, Mr. Kelly, have you had an opportunity now to speak with your attorney?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna put that jail room in the waiting room.
I need to grab some more envelopes. 1 second.
Miss Adams, you can have.
Never mind, they're right in front of me.
Thank you. Okay. All right, and Mr. Kelly, are you satisfied with Mr. Murphy as your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Murphy, do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of any information in the pre-sentence report?
No, Your Honor, we reviewed the prior criminal history and prior history. There are no additions or corrections to make in regards to the PSI.
All right, does the pre-sentence report disclose any prior convictions in which there exists any known constitutional defect?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor, no.
All right, on file number 23-21287FH on count 1, controlled substance possession of methamphetamine, the probation department has computed the minimum sentencing guidelines to be 0 to 11 months. Do you agree with that computation of guidelines?
Yes, Your Honor.
On count 2, weapons carrying concealed, they computed the guidelines to be 0 to 9 months. Do you agree with that computation of guidelines?
Yes, Your Honor.
On count 3, controlled substance possession of analogs, they computed the minimum sentencing guidelines to be 0 to 9 months. Do you agree with that computation of guidelines?
Possession of analogs?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, on count 4, motor vehicle operating without insurance, that is a 1-year misdemeanor. On file number 24-21801FH, count 1, they computed the guidelines to be 2 to 17. Do you agree with that computation of guidelines?
Yes, Your Honor. I reviewed the PRBs, and I do agree with the computation of 2 to 17.
Okay, and then
guy's
on
gonna be
count
serving
2,
some time.
controlled substance possession of methamphetamine, they calculated the minimum sentencing guidelines to be 19 to 38 months. Do you agree with that computation of guidelines?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, before the court passes sentence, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of Mr. Kelly?
Yes, Your Honor. And I do apologize. I may end up taking a bit of time, but Mr. Kelly's case had progressed for quite a while. He had the previous case. He was released on bond, and then he had, unfortunately, another case come up. Mr. Kelly, he is suffering under, substance abuse issue, an addiction. Quite frankly, I think that's obvious from the charges. Now, these did pop up fairly quickly, and that is, again, as I expressed, the PRBs on the later charges are because of that. These occurred after he was sentenced on another case that was out in Hillsdale, before the other case before Your Honor was worked out. Now, Mr. Kelly, we had him screened for recovery court. He was a good candidate for recovery court. He didn't qualify for Lenawee County because he wasn't a resident of Lenawee County. His last residence was in Jackson County, right over the county line. We had him screened in Jackson County. Jackson County Recovery Court say he doesn't qualify. He's not a high risk, high needs person, so they rejected him. And again, I discussed with Ms. Teskey about it again over emails. He doesn't qualify for Lenawee County because he isn't a resident. He doesn't have a residence here, but he doesn't have a residence anywhere, Your Honor. He doesn't have an address other than the Lenawee County Jail. So it was a situation where I was getting kind of frustrated because I believe, looking at Mr. Kelly, that's what he needs is recovery. He needs to go into an inpatient rehab. He needs to be given these tools. It's unfortunate that it's gone this point in his life that he has that's flared up, that he hadn't been able to address this sooner. But as we see that a lot of people don't address it on their own sooner than coming into the criminal justice system. So again, Mr. Kelly, he deeply regrets the situation that led to this. If you look at the instances, you look at the previous incident in Jackson, it's all fueled by the substance abuse issue. Again, obviously, I have concern about Mr. Kelly serving a period of incarceration, not having the proper tools when he's done with that, however long that period may be, to go back out and I don't want him to reoffend. I want him to have the proper tools. I would ask the court to consider, I understand that the guidelines, I think it'll be asking the court to deviate below the guidelines on the later charges, but that's good to consider giving him a year in jail, maybe credit for time served and suspending the remainder to have him go to an inpatient rehab, maybe Dawn Farms, some intensive place that would be more beneficial to him and a better use of resources. I do understand, again, with the seriousness of these charges, with the guidelines being as they are, Mr. Kelly definitely understands that as well, and he's here to accept any punishment the court gives. But again, he does have a support system. His boss, Mr. Rose, had contacted my office quite a few times over the length of this case, expressing a desire to help any way he could. Of course, he couldn't change the charges that Mr. Kelly was facing. He couldn't ultimately do much of anything other than express his support. Mr. Kelly's sister had contacted me as well. Unfortunately, she was not able to have him reside there in order to try to help in regards to meeting a residency requirement. But he does have individuals that are there to support him. Unfortunately, obviously, the big issue that he's had to deal with is a substance abuse issue, which, again, people who are under the thralls of these tend to push away other individuals. So, again, at this point, Mr. Kelly still has some people that are willing to a support system. So I would ask the court to consider deviating below the guidelines and maybe, again, sentencing him to a period of 1 year incarceration at the jail. And then after that, to release to inpatient, or for 1 year and then suspending the further with inpatient treatment. But again, Mr. Kelly will abide by any order the court gives for a sentence. So thank you, Your Honor.
He needs help, and he can't. This isn't something he can just do on his own.
Mr. Kelly, all right, do we have, so Mr. Kelly, you haven't been sentenced on your violation of probation in Hillsdale County yet, or you have?
Correct, Your Honor. I have not. I go back February 3rd.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything you want to say on your own behalf, Mr. Kelly?
I just want to thank Mr. Murphy for representing me, and then the court and Your Honor for your time and patience. I've struggled with addiction for a while, and I'm ready to make a change. So I'm appreciative of the opportunity.
That's a start.
Determining the appropriate sentence in this case, the court has considered the seriousness of the offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the sentencing guidelines, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what has been said upon the record at this hearing. The criteria and reasons for the sentence and are the nature and gravity of the offense, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, the potential for reformation, vindication of the law, and the protection of society. Mr. Kelly, you have just a long history of addiction. You're right, you do, and you need help. I'm looking to see. You know, I know you've been placed on probation in other counties. You were released to residential treatment back in Hillsdale back in January of 23. Did you complete that treatment or did you take off?
What do you mean by residential?
I showed back on January 6th of 23 in Hillsdale County. No, it says Jackson County. They gave you 120 days. It looks like on a violation of probation and released you to residential treatment. And then on it looks like July 2nd, probation revoked. Did you ever go to a rehab program?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I thought later in the report it had mentioned that he wasn't able to because of the pending line of way.
Yeah, the pending felonies. So, all right. All right.
Rehab won't take you if the jail's going to come snatch you up.
And on file number 23-21287FH, you'll be placed on probation for a period of 3 years. We'll serve 1 year in the Lenawee County Jail. I'll give you credit for 270 days already served. If Jackson or Hillsdale County or whoever you have out there pending wish to send you to an intensive inpatient program, we will allow you to be released to attend that program. Do you understand that, Mr. Kelly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Otherwise, you will serve the year in jail. There's $130 crime victim rights fee. There's 3 felonies plus 1 misdemeanor.
So the 23 case, a total of 254.
Yeah, so it's $68 on each count for a felony and $50 for the misdemeanor, for a total of $254 in state costs, $30 per month supervision fee, $60 if we have to put a tether on you. And obviously wherever you land is your probation can be transferred there within the state of Michigan. On file number 24-21801FH, I'll give you credit for 269 days already served, 3 years probation. Obviously that can be transferred wherever or transferred here, depending on where you live. On that file, if you're given inpatient treatment through any other county, you can be released to that program as well. And there is a $130 crime victim rights fee. No, yeah, crime victim rights fee and $136 in state costs, $68 per count.
Thanks for your help this morning, Josh. Appreciate it.
So, Mr. Kelly,
As soon as this one's done, we're going to jump to more familiar court.
You were hitting rock bottom really fast.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that one of the other counties, when they send you, will now be able to send you to an inpatient treatment program. That's why I'm doing this. I'm giving you one more chance. You know, at this point, you're just hurting yourself and emotionally and mentally hurting your family. But, you know, I hope that if you are admitted into an inpatient treatment program, understand you will be ordered to enter and complete that program as a term of your probation here. If you take off or get kicked out, that would be a violation of your probation. And then you will be looking at a prison term. Do you understand, Mr. Kelly?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So am I missing anything, Ms. Holly?
Court costs?
Oh, yep. On file number 23-21287FH, I will assess $750 in court costs.
And we should probably do the no weapons in the search.
Yeah, and you must obey and comply with all terms of probation, not to drink alcohol, you're not to use controlled substances, not to commit any crimes, not to have any weapons in your possession. Ms. Holly can enter your house at any time for probation supervision, but she also, if she has reasonable cause to believe that you violated your terms of probation, she can search your house, your car, computer, whatever. So I don't think there's any restitution. I think that's it. So, Mr. Kelly, we're going to send over to the jail your notice of right to appellate review. There'll be a copy for each file. Initial and date, one copy for our records. They'll get that back to us so we know you received it. The other copies are for you. And if you wish to appeal your sentence, you would fill out the information on the form and mail it to the address listed on the form within 42 days. So that's my Christmas present to you, is that on this file, you're not going to prison this time.
Merry
but
Christmas.
If you violate, understand I won't have a choice.
All right. Thank you, Your
And
Honor.
you should report to me first Tuesday out.
Okay, so when you get out,
Yes.
you have to report to Miss Holly that first Tuesday. So if you get out at Tuesday morning at 2 a.m., you got to report to Miss Holly. If you get out on Wednesday, the following Tuesday, you need to report to Miss Holly. Don't use any drugs when you get out. Start going to programming or whatever. If you get transferred to an inpatient rehab facility, make sure a message gets sent to Miss Holly so she knows where you're at. All right?
Thanks, Bug Duggar. Appreciate that.
All right. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you,
Mr. Kelly. Yeah, if you need any questions, just write or try to call me, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, we're going to...
Thank you, Your Honor.
We've had a couple very interesting... I don't know why I've got Billie Eilish on my screen over here. She's not part of the program today. Thanks, YouTube, for putting that up. Let's see, we've got... I need... It's Friday, so we've got most of our familiar courts are in landlord-tenant stuff, which a lot of times can be a little depressing. Cedric Simpson is doing that. Judge Middleton's doing that as well. Who else is on? Judge Fleischer, where are you? Finding Justice with Judge Fleischer. He's not up right now. Let's see if Judge Boyd is. Judge Stephanie Boyd. What time is it? It's 10, 11. She's not up either. She's had most of this week off, I think. No, she was up 6 days ago. It's the holiday season. Isn't it great? I was going to give you an update. That's what I was going to do. I was going to tell you the update on my bathroom, the remodel that's happening on the other side of this wall. I like to think that my studio has its own bathroom, which now the closet actually does go into the bathroom, but there's no bathroom fixtures in there at all. We have torn out the bathroom was tiled from about 4 feet up all the way. So all the way down, solid floor, walls, shower, around the tub. The whole bathroom was tiled. We've torn up everything except the part that wasn't the shower. So we tore up the shower. All the walls are torn down. The wall between the closet and the shower is torn down. We're going to expand that out, and so the bathroom's going to be more than just 4 foot by 4 foot. It wasn't that small, but it seemed that way. Anyway, they're shoveling up all the remaining smashed stuff so we can get down to the joists, because I have to replace joists under the house. And this update brought to you by one of Grincher's grievances. Let's see. Tisha, I just barely. Let's see. Tisha, yes, in Edmonds. I've got one right here headed out to you, Tisha. We're good. Anyway, so that's the update. We're hoping to have a huge hole in the house for as little a time as possible. So when the walls came down, we heard it. Yes, we felt it. Stuff was falling off my bookshelf when they were hammering it. As a matter of fact, there's like a huge stack of books that was about to topple onto my desk. Okay, it's back up. Anyway, that's the update. So we're hoping that that here soon we're able to put flooring back in. We might have to go watch some landlord-tenant stuff. Let's check out with Judge Simpson quickly.
Professor Gazari, appearing for plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Deion Brown.
All right. Okay. And how much is owing on his case?
$1,474, which includes $172 in court costs.
All right. Mr. Brown, how are you intending on getting that paid?
So I made a $1,000 payment yesterday, and I'm going to be able to make an $800 payment on the 8th. I was hoping that the remaining balance, which is the late fees, if it was possible, I could pay that on the 22nd.
Okay, let's do this. How much is your monthly rent?
$651.
Okay. So what's going to happen if you pay the Ms. Gazari, you don't see the 1,000, I take it.
No, I don't.
All right. So if you pay the 1,000 and then you'll have 800 on the 8th?
Yes.
All right. That's all right. If you do that, then we'll try to figure out, we'll get a new balance on the 10th by that time, and then we can figure out where we go and what that balance, what's part of that balance. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And
I'll try to make
I'm gonna trust Mr. Brown because he does what I ask him to do and what he tells me he's gonna do.
I try to make it. I'll try to do what I need to do.
Yeah, I know you do. So I'm gonna adjourn this to January 10th, 2025 at 12 noon. Okay, that's in person.
Okay.
Get that payments in, and then we'll figure out where we go with the rest of it. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Have a good New Year.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you.
Huron Vista Apartments versus Giovanna. Is it Giovanna Nesbeth?
Carissa Gazari, appearing for plaintiff.
It's Giovanna Nesbeth.
Here. Oh, there she is. Okay. All right. How much is owing?
Your Honor, the outstanding balance is $2,922, which includes $176 in court costs.
Ma'am, how are you intending on getting this paid?
I had applied for SCR and was denied because I guess they went through old pay stubs. I've been without a job since November 6th. But I also have an application through eShoe, something like that they actually provided to me. That is a rental assistance as well.
No job since November 6th.
All right, you'll have to supply that information to the court on the rental assistance form, the SCR, as well as whatever else you're applying to. And you have nothing that you can pay by the 9th of January?
Nothing at this very moment, but I cannot say that I won't pay anything because I have a full check coming in as well. So can't really say no.
All right. I'll adjourn it to Jen. You need to get those forms in. You need to get the rental assistance forms in by the 2nd.
Okay.
I'll adjourn this to January 10th, 2025, excuse me, at 12 noon. That's in person. All right. Thank you. Huron Vista versus Jacqueline Taylor.
Marissa Gazari appearing for plaintiff. I think there's
Oh,
one
there's
other.
a second tenant on here. I'm sorry. And Tania Tolliver.
Judge Simpson.
Hello? Who said hello,
Hello?
Judge Simpson?
Hello, what's your name?
Jacqueline Taylor.
All right. Okay. Still, Ms. Kazari, how much is owing on this account?
Your Honor, the outstanding balance is $2,374.03, which includes $222 in court costs.
Taylor, how are you going to get that paid?
I did an SCR and I also did the thing. They put something up under our doors for rent assistance, and I also did that.
All right. So you applied for SER. You contacted
Yes,
Hawk?
sir. No, sir. I haven't contacted Hawk.
Okay. You may want to do that. Do you have anything you can pay before the 9th of January?
I probably will have something before then.
You just don't know?
No, I just don't know.
All right. January 10th, 2025, 12 noon. That's in person. You'll need to supply the court with a rental assistance form. You can either use the QR code on it. Well, you called in. So you're going to have to come down to the court and get a copy of that form. Fill that out with your SER information. And you got to do that by the 2nd.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you then.
Okay, bye-bye.
Court calls the case of Huron Vista Apartments versus Rebecca Elledge.
Marissa Gazari appearing for plaintiff.
Ms. Elledge? Oh,
This is
can't
going to
hear
be a
you.
judgment for
We can
defendant.
see you.
Oh,
Can't
wait,
hear
there she
you.
is.
Oh, sorry, I'm here.
Yeah, okay, we got it. Okay. Ms. Zeri, how much is owing?
Your Honor, Miss Elledge just made a payment of $700, which brought her balance down to $98, which includes court costs total.
$98?
Yes.
$98 just court costs?
Ms. Elledge, just wait until the last minute. Caused me excitement in my day. So when can you get that 98 in?
I can pay it on Friday.
Oh, by the 3rd, but then your January rent's gonna click in.
Yeah, I know. Which is the January rent is actually gonna be late because I don't get paid till I told you I get monthly payments, so I don't get paid till the 26th.
Till when?
Till the 26th to pay for this month. Because I get paid at the end of the month. I only get paid monthly.
Oh, I remember. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. You owe $98. Let's and that's really court cost more than anything. But let's see if the parties can work something out. I'll adjourn it out to the 10th. If you happen to come across some money, get it in there if you can get it in before the end of the month, because then they'll dismiss the case. Okay.
You said do what again? I'm sorry.
If you do come across somebody and you can get the $98 in before the end of this month, they'll dismiss the case. But I'm going to adjourn it out to the 10th and see if the parties can work something out regarding getting you paid and caught up for January. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sound good?
Sounds good. Thank you.
We'll see you January 10th at 12 noon. Shall let you have a happy new year. Okay.
Thank you.
Huron Vista versus Tayana Beasley.
Marissa Gazari appearing for plaintiff.
Good morning.
Hello, Miss Beasley. How are you?
Good morning.
How are you?
Okay. Ms. Gazari, how much is
She has
owing
a ceiling
on this?
fan.
$1,129, which includes $176 in court costs.
$1,129.
Yes.
Okay. Usually, how are you gonna get that paid? Can you do me a favor? Okay, got it. Never mind, we got it. Usually, how are you gonna get that paid?
I can pay it. I was trying to figure out where the actual balance was coming from because they're saying it came from August, but I moved in August. And I had to pay a security deposit and then a prorated amount of rent. I don't know. It was a misunderstanding, but I'm gonna pay the remaining balance. But my rent is due on the 1st, so I can pay it the second week of January.
Okay, say that again. There was a plan in there someplace, but I'm just trying to figure
The
out.
second week
make
of
sure I
January, the
understand it.
past due balance that they're saying I owe for August, I can pay it by the second week of January. But I'm supposed to have a meeting with the leasing office to figure out what is owed for because I don't know what it's
Okay,
owed
so
for.
when are you meeting? When are you meeting with them?
After the break, I was originally supposed to meet with him in November. I had an appointment at 9 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. They're not even open on Wednesdays, but he never responded. He never showed up. He said he.
All right, let's.
Whoa, what?
Okay, let's do this.
I had appointment on Wednesday morning.
The
They're not open on Wednesdays.
1129,
He
which
didn't
is
show
that
up.
disputed amount until you can get in and see him. What I need you to do is I need you to put that 1129 into court escrow.
Okay.
All right, so it has to be cash. Just come down and pay it to the court. And at some point, once we can get that account reconciled, we can figure that out. Then you're going to owe January rent, but you're also going to talk to them about how you're going to get that paid, correct?
Oh no, I can pay that.
You can
That'll
pay
be
it. Okay.
paid.
What day will that be paid?
So the first is due on the 1st.
Oh, okay, so you'll pay that January on time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I wanted to make sure I was following.
Yeah.
With what you're saying. So get that disputed amount of 1129 into court escrow. I'll adjourn this out to January 10th, 2025 at 12 noon. That's an in-person hearing, but see if you can get in with them to get it reconciled, or you can call the attorney's office and talk to one of them about what your account looks like, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll do it that way. All right, you have a great new year. We'll
Thank
see
you,
you
Will.
on the 10th.
Yeah.
All right. Huron Vista versus Tashia Wilson.
Carissa Gazari appearing for plaintiff.
Tashia Wilson. No.
Yeah.
Oh. What's your name?
Tashia Wilson.
All right. Wilson, Ms. Gazari, how much does she owe?
$1,142, which includes the court costs.
If you just call in, you don't have to show up camera.
Okay,
I
Ms.
thought
Wilson,
they
how
said
are you?
9. I thought it said 916.
Then you got court
That
costs.
was probably before court costs. And yeah, that's before court costs were added in. Okay. So when can you get that? When can you get that paid, Miss Wilson?
So I did do an SCR, but I probably can have that paid on the 3rd.
Okay. So you did an SCR.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're going to rely on that SCR, you need to fill out a rental assistance form, come down to the court. I need the tracking number from the SCR that you did, okay? On that form.
Okay. Okay.
All right. You have to do that. If you do that, you got to do that by the 2nd.
Okay.
Okay.
But
And
I'll pretty much
then-
have it paid by the 3rd.
Okay, I got you. So here's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to indicate that you're going to have it paid hopefully by the 3rd or most of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll adjourn this out to January 10th, 2025 at 12 noon. Okay? And if you're paid, then we're good. But the problem is you got January that we still got to pay, right?
Oh, I'll pay that. I'm paying that Monday. I'm
This
paying
Monday?
January's Monday. Yes.
How much is your monthly rent?
$348, I think.
Okay, so you're gonna pay the 348
Monday.
actually early, and then we just
Yeah.
gotta figure out, this
The-
1142. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. On what did we just order? Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. We'll see you on the 10th.
Okay,
Take
one
care.
last
Yeah,
envelope.
Happy New
to
Year.
send out.
And to you. Here on Vista versus Brianna Holcomb.
Carissa Gazari appearing for plaintiff.
You see, I think she's on.
That name's
Hi, Your
familiar.
Honor. Hi, Your Honor.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
All right. Okay,
She's got a headset in half.
The balance
We
is
can hear you now.
$3,060, which includes $176 in court costs.
You said 3060?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Ms. Holcomb, how are you intending on getting that paid?
Okay, so I have a caseworker through the Department of Human Services that has done a special SCR. It's not something that I was able to complete online. It was like physical documents that I had to fill out. I have submitted that to the court via email. I'm not sure if that's sufficient.
I do see it.
Okay, so there was a change in the individual who was handling special SCR requests for the DHS. And so I was told that she was getting settled into her position, and that was the reason why the security deposit had not been paid. I am responsible for $1,392 of my rent portion, and I have to actually get with my Section 8 caseworker so that she could review my income, because I no longer do Uber. My vehicle has changed, so I'm not doing Uber. So it may affect my portion of rent by $200 or more. I do have a payment to make today, and I can also apply for Hawk. Another question I have, a question I have is about the address. I'm expecting a disbursement from the state of Michigan income tax, and there's a change in the address, and I'm not sure if that's going to cause a delay because I need some proof that the address has changed, and I don't have any formal proof. Also, the lease states
Which address?
So the address has changed from 944 to 941.
Through the postal service or?
Yes, so our building address, even for my DTE, it has changed. It's no longer 944, it's 941 now.
Okay, I have no idea if that's gonna cause some confusion. Let me ask you this. You said you had a payment that you could make. How much can you pay?
Today I can make $350. I'll also be able to make payments every week. I'm on temporary employment, but I've been offered full-time. So I will transition into permanent employment, which means that I'll go from being a temporary employee getting paid weekly to bi-weekly. And as a temporary employee during these holidays, I did have some days where I'm not paid because I'm not a salary employee. So this change is supposed to take effect January 20th, but I can make weekly payments and then seek assistance through Hawk. But I do not believe that I would not be getting assistance from my caseworker because it's a part of a reunification plan for my family. So I do have.
Yeah, I see it there.
There's a lot going on here.
And so I understand what you're getting at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjourn this out to January 10th, 2025 at 12 noon. Okay, that's
Your
typically
Honor.
an in-person. Yes, ma'am.
May I please ask for not January 10th, as that is the day that my kids are scheduled to return home. So that I have a court date, January 10th.
That's a valid excuse.
So what day did we?
Like Tuesday.
We gave it Tuesday the 14th.
Yeah, or next Tuesday.
Sounds like this is coming together. It's just taking some time for her. So
Let's just put them on the 14th, I think. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do for you, ma'am. So we'll clear the way a little bit for that. Well, let me ask you this. Would you rather have your next hearing before or after you get your kids back? I can do the 7th or the 14th. Which would be better for you? Because there's gonna be a lot going through your mind so you tell me.
Yes, could we do the 14th just to give me time to speak with Section 8 about my portion of rent? And
I got
it'll
you.
give me more time to get payments in, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to adjourn this. This is a special day. This would be Tuesday, January 14, 2025 at 9 a.m. Okay, in person. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much, Your Honor.
Not a problem. You get the payments in, and then we can see where everything is at that point. All right?
Okay, thank you. Happy holidays, everyone.
And to you.
All right. While the vacuum goes in the background, I apologize for that. They're sucking up concrete and tile dust in the other room. I was going to read off the names of who we've just got stamps headed in the mail for, just so you know it's all been done. I think I'm all caught up here. We've got Stevie, Rhonda, Pam, Kaylee, Trisha, Ricky, another Ricky, that's Ricky Watson, Ricky C, Tisha, Melissa Matthew, Emily, another Melissa, Lindsay, Rick, Christy, Diane, Denise, and Kathy. I've got you all going in the mailbox, ready to go. So I think I'm all caught up, and then I'll be watching for some self-addressed stamped envelopes if any come here. So awesome. Thank you. I've loved sending these out. I think we're going to have some on hand in case we ever do a meet and greet where we can give them out as well. But love it. Green Eyed Cat, yes, if you send a self-addressed stamped envelope, that works. If for some reason your health, financials, whatever, it doesn't matter the reason, but if the self-addressed stamped envelope doesn't work for you, I can cover that for you. I've got a few more envelopes left and a few more stamps if you need one. That way you can text it to the burner phone. I'd prefer the self-addressed stamped envelope if you're able, though. So, all right, the vacuum's going, so let me get back to court here so we can turn off this microphone. Tammy Rogers. Haven't watched her in a while. What's up with her?
Must be in compliance with all of the terms and conditions as your orders of probation.
Okay.
So whatever you're required to do for probation, you are also required to do as a condition of your bond.
Okay.
Miss Lee, any questions?
No, I don't.
No, thank you.
I feel like I'm in an oven.
Miss Steele, thank you
Got
for your
lights all
appearance
around
this
me and
morning.
walls.
Please watch for contact from
Cooking.
your attorney. The court will mail you the notice regarding the date and time of your hearing, and you're free to leave this meeting.
Thank you.
The stickers are 3 inches by 3 inches. They're this size
Good
right
morning,
here.
may I have your name, please?
Sebastian Kuchera.
He's calling from the moon.
Good morning, Mr.
Sebastian, how are you
Kuchera.
doing?
We're on the record in case number 24-2607 SM. You're appearing for arraignment purposes this morning on an allegation of a probation violation. You're appearing with Miss Mistily. She's the defense attorney available to assist you, and I don't think she's yet had an opportunity to speak with you. I'm going to place you and she in a breakout room so that you can have a private conversation with her before we begin, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have plenty of stickers. If there are more self-addressed stamped envelopes coming in than stickers, I'll just order more stickers. So I'm a big fan of not having expensive merch. I don't know. Maybe
I don't know if I know how to
maybe
use this.
Who's in Zoom?
Good morning, Mr. Sheehan.
Good morning.
So, Mr. Sheehan, you're appearing for arraignment purposes this morning on a probation violation allegation. Miss Mistily is the defense attorney.
Ricky,
who
I got
will
you.
be
It's good.
assisting you.
Got you covered.
She's currently with another client. So for right now, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room. It shouldn't take too long, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I swim in the stickers when I'm off camera. Toyo Toys is sending 40 self-addressed stamped envelopes, which seems like a lot for one sticker. I'm trying to oblige, make sure stickers go everywhere that people want them. So I will say, I don't know. If you ever have a need for stickers, the company itself, Sticker Mule, is a strange company. And I wouldn't necessarily use them for making life choices, but they make a really high quality sticker, and their service is beyond anything else I've found. So I do love using them. If you need a little reference code to use them, I'd be happy to give that out for you. But they're really good. They run some awesome deals. So like occasionally you can get like 50 of these for like $19, which is a really good deal for reflective 3x3 stickers. Their quality is phenomenal. Turnaround is great. I've never had a problem with them, so I like them.
Oh, this is cute.
You can't see me. I sent you an extra one for your mom as well. Gore, when is this one happening? When is that one? Do you know the dates on that? I mean, we followed that one on the news when it happened. Ricky, thank you. I got you. It's in the mail. It's headed your way. Thank you very much for this super chat, though. Kurt is like Vanna White on YouTube. He's phenomenal for selling anything. I'm not sure if I could afford his services though. All right. Need the address again. Selena, we'll put it up on screen here in just a second. One of the mods can type address. That would be great. I wonder if anyone can. Ricky did. Let's see if that works. Not sure if I made that a mod only command.
Yep.
We're just waiting here in court. We might do a little hopping around to see if something else happens.
Welcome back.
Oh.
So we are back on the record in case number 24-2607. SM, Ms. Missley, you had opportunity to review the allegations on the probation violation as well as the recommendations with Mr. Kuchar.
I have, and we'll be tendering a plea of not guilty, requesting a hearing and a lawyer.
So Mr. Kuchar, in order to complete a petition for court-appointed attorney, I need to place you under oath and ask you some questions. Would you please raise your right hand?
Yes, ma'am.
And you swear that the information you're about to give me will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Swear.
Thank you. What is your phone number?
231
867-5309.
And your mailing
currently
address,
out of.
please.
I'm homeless. I'm staying at Safe Harbor.
Do you get your mail at 222 Cass?
Yes.
So your attorney will need to be able to get a hold of you, so you need to check that mail, okay?
I do every day. Yes, on the weekdays.
And you indicated your phone is currently not working, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
But is that phone something that you'll have working in the near future?
I need to gather $125 from my employer before I can turn it back on.
Okay, but is that the only phone number that an attorney might be able to reach you at?
Yes. Or if he could leave a message at Safe Harbor.
Everyone needs your number.
I'm not sure if they do that.
They do.
Okay. Are you employed?
Yes.
Where?
Dan Smith, Outdoor Services.
What's your average take-home pay?
Well, we're in a little bit of a lawsuit here because he doesn't pay his employees. So he owes me $2,000.
Whoa.
And we just filed a claim.
So I hope to be getting a couple $1,000.
But I've been working. I just
probably
have
be last
getting
check.
paid.
You might want to find a different job then, huh?
Yeah, that's why I started my own company, eh?
Is he a Canadian?
Do you own a vehicle?
I do not.
Do you have any money in a checking account or savings account? Any cash on hand?
No.
I will appoint an attorney for you.
Yeah, I think he qualified a long time
Between now and the time of
ago.
the hearing, and the court will mail you the notice of the date and time of that hearing, I'm going to place you on a $5,000 personal recognizance bond with all of the same terms and conditions that currently exist on your orders of probation. So whatever you are required to do for probation, you are also required to do as a condition of your bond. You should have contact from your court-appointed attorney by the end of next week, so please again be watching for that, okay?
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell, any questions?
No, thank you.
For right now then, Mr. Kuchera, you are all set. Please watch for contact from your attorney. The court will mail you a notice as well. And you're free to leave the meeting.
Thank you. I have one question. I'm not allowed to have contact with my grandpa, but the court keeps mailing my mail to my grandpa. And I've asked them to change that to 222 Street.
Okay. We will change it to 222 Cass.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Mr. Sheehan, thank you and welcome back. We are on the record in case number 24-1846FY. You're appearing for arraignment purposes on an allegation of a probation violation, and you're appearing with Ms. Mistley, the defense attorney available through the Indigent Defense Council here to assist you. She's not yet had an opportunity to speak with you. So I'm going to ask to place you and Ms. Mistley in a breakout room. Before you go, may I have your phone number, please?
Yes,
867-5309.
Thank you. So your screen will ask you to join that breakout room, and when you're done, please return to this meeting.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, you will.
All right, Maggie, gotcha. How does everyone have the same number? It's like a Christmas miracle. All right, now I'm all caught up. All right, let's see. I've got to step away for just a minute. So if you could, Court, if you could just stop giving away people's phone numbers, that would be great. Let me see if we can find. I was hoping Judge Fleischer was going to be on today. Wasn't he? I thought he was going to be on Friday. Something in my head was saying he was going to be on. Let's see. Is this a divorce? Hang on one second.
This is in the District Court of Butler County, Kansas, case entitled, in the matter of the marriage of Scott R. Thomas and Jennifer E. Thomas, case number 2023.
Yeah, that's a final divorce thing. That's not going to be fun. Although one might celebrate when it's all over. Let's see. Judge Fleischer not up. Tammy Rogers, Judge Simpson's up. Let's see, Lawrence County Municipal in Chesapeake. Let's jump down here for a minute and see what we got. Got a guy in a hoodie. He's obviously representing himself. All the suits are on the other side. Okay, no phone numbers and addresses. I got to step away for just a
It
minute.
looks like Mr. Morford was the attorney for Mr. Severance.
Yes, Judge, I have represented him.
He went to the counseling center on November 20th, and you say he left on December 2nd, so he didn't stay very long.
Yes.
And looks like he got picked up on the warrant. So he's back here. It's on a possession of drug paraphernalia. Is the charge. I think that's the only charge, drug paraphernalia.
He had actually pled guilty to that on September the 6th.
Yeah. So I think this is the second time he's left treatment. He was at Shawnee at one point and left there too. What's the state's position on it?
Well, what he pled guilty to is an M4, and I don't know how many days he's been in jail during all of this, but that would have to be accounted for as far as...
Just give him the jail time?
Well, it may be that we need to at this point. I hate to, because I think he's got some real issues. I don't know how he would be able to convince the court that he would really comply at this point. I'd rather have him get well, but...
Okay, he's been in since the 23rd, which is Monday.
And I would say that he spent a little bit of time previously. I could be wrong, but back in November, he left.
What did I miss?
And then he was, I believe, he was back in jail on November the 18th, so he spent some days then, at least one. So.
Do you know how many days you've been in jail, Mr. Severance?
2? Too long?
Not really, about 3, 4. I've been laying back here sleeping.
What would you have the court do? Do you want to try to go back to the treatment, or do you want to see if we can work out an agreement with the prosecutor and
the name says Chesapeake.
Sentencing?
If it's Chesapeake,
Don't want me under wrong devotion. She's trying to stop it altogether. She don't want to do it anymore. Wrong devotion. And the treatment centers, the rehabs, they're under wrong devotion.
Well, recall judge, let me talk to him.
All right, Mr. Severance, your lawyer's going to call down and talk to you, and then I'll have you back on the teleconference and see how we're going to go forward. Mr. Wolf is going to call you here in just a few minutes, so the jailer can keep him out.
State of Ohio recalls Leonard E. Johnson Jr., case number CRB 23401, CRA 22276, CRB 22278, CRB 17156.
I try to get in touch with Mr. Johnson, and when I call his number, it goes straight to voicemail, and I can't leave a message, so I don't know how else to get in touch with him.
Prosecution has their own printer.
Mr. Min ever responded.
And filing system. This is Ohio.
There's several cases, one of which is a felony. Does the state want warrants from here, or how do you want to proceed?
Your Honor, he had previously entered guilty pleas to the theft and domestic violence charge, so, and he's awaiting sentencing on those. So we would prefer that a warrant be issued from this court.
All right, warrants will be issued for failure to appear on all cases in this court except for today.
I'll keep on trying to get him here as soon as possible.
M3, I think you nailed this one. It's a cinder block walls. Sound just bounces around. It's probably better for like recording choirs with a harsh echo sound. I know some people like that. In Z Corp Alpha's courtroom, there's going to be no
State
loose
law recalls
paperwork,
James DeMint,
extreme
case
dress
number
code.
CRA 24786, CRB 24787A and B, CRB 24635.
A leather trapper keeper, and an iPad. It makes you feel like we're in the basement somewhere. We're in gallery seating. It's slanted down. Prosecutor keeps giving us the side eye. I'm not sure what she's looking at.
Your Honor, I believe that Mr. DeMint will be going back to TCC, is that correct?
Yep, if that's what the court will allow.
Mr. Hill?
I spoke with Deputy Perry Adkins about, he was part of this situation that led to the chase. And while we believe that it was kind of a serious situation, we also willing, based on the deputy's concurrence with this idea, to let him go to treatment and not leave this time and be successful. What Mr. DeMint is facing now is potential actual prison time because of the third-degree felony. But if he's willing to waive time, we're willing to leave it here, come back again, make sure he's doing well in treatment, and we won't take it to the grand jury at this time. But he's got to do extra good this time. It's got to stick.
No more police chases.
Trevor looks like he's going to be there too. Is that going to be a problem or a benefit?
That's a benefit.
Be there at the same time.
I think it's a good thing.
And you agree, you both?
Absolutely.
All right, so there's a time waiver.
We'll waive time.
Mr. DeMint, so we're back to the counseling center. And
yes, sir.
Come back for a follow-up. 13th, are you available 13th?
That mechanical keyboard
are you
is
available 13th?
clicking and clacking.
The 13th and 31st I'm not available, but any other date, I'm good.
Uh, 17th.
That's fine, Your Honor. I think I'm already here that day.
January 17th will be the next hearing for Mr. DeMint here in this court.
Your Honor, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
James approached me and asked about getting his belongings together prior to coming to us, which obviously I'm not able to answer that question for him.
I also have a hot water tank. That's
well,
serious.
He has a $20,000 bond up. What's the state's position on it?
He wants time.
About allowing him to go somewhere and get his stuff.
Well, I know it's not, can I say something?
Well, it's okay with the check.
If you want to get
if your lawyer will let you.
stuff, what you said, a hot water tank?
Yeah, my hot water tank in my house is actually busted and leaking right now. I can change it in a few hours. I didn't want to leave my wife with that and get my financial things in order. Everything was closed since I've been out, but my mind's made up to do this.
Well, you're on a bond right now, so I think maybe we set a time frame to.
When can you get this done and report?
Yeah, right. So whatever you suggest, Your Honor.
Well, I want you to go today, but you give a realistic time frame. You say you got to change out. You have a hot. You got to go to Lowe's or someplace.
Yes, I do.
Water tank.
Yes, sir.
And then you got to go to the bank and do something.
Yes, sir.
When are the banks closing today?
I'm not sure.
Or
maybe tomorrow morning.
Mr. Turner?
Well, we'll definitely be open.
I have no problem.
I'm going to make it a condition of your bond that you report tomorrow morning by 9 a.m. to the counseling center. If you don't, I'm going to tell Mr. Sowards he's got to pay $20,000 or get you in custody. And
absolutely.
He'd do a lot of really bad stuff for $20,000. So.
Absolutely. I don't mess with Gary Sowards.
So he wants to fix his hot water heater.
17th, but condition of your bond report, and Mr. Turner will text me if you don't, and I'll be there. Mr. Sowards.
Absolutely.
I'm going to start looking for you.
I'll stay in contact with you.
And we'll find you.
Okay. Good luck. Make it work this time.
There you go. Thank you, Your Honor.
Totally.
Okay, the clicky clacky. It's almost as bad as listening to my wall get hammered down. So I have to cut away from that. Let's see. Judge Simpson's still doing landlord-tenant stuff all day today. Let's see who else is up. That was Lawrence County Municipal Court, Chesapeake. Let's see who else do we have. 857 Tucson. Is this? Hang on one second. I think this is somebody else's channel. Yeah, this is somebody's channel. They're just streaming. Pima County Justice Courtroom. Let's see. People are already doing a New Year's countdown. That's a long wait. So, Pima County. Looking to see if they've got a live stream. Pima County Sheriffs. No. Attorney's Office. No. Pima County Court. I'm not seeing it live. It must be dialed into the Zoom. All right. That was Arizona. First full trial of 2025. It's probably going to be a smaller one. The first big one, I think, is Corey Richens. I think it's going to be Corey Richens. Please don't rush the new year. We're going to lunch. Is it lunchtime already? Oh, it almost is. It's never too early for lunch. Let's jump up to Judge Simpson. Let's see. He is private right now. Let's go back to Tammy for a second. I'm going to see if I can show you a picture. If you guys think about a remodeling job, I don't think this is what you would have in mind. Hang on one second. Let's see if I can show you this. I needed to go somewhere else. There it is.
That's right, yeah.
No, it built it sideways. Hang on, I need to rotate the picture because I took it the wrong orientation. Okay. All right, here's how it's going right now for me. That is the hole. The hole where you see right there, that's like the drain in the middle, sort of straight ahead where my son's looking, that's the shower. The whole other side of that wall was a shower. It was like a full tub length, but it was a walk-in shower. There's now a hole. That hole now drops 6 feet down to pipes, electrical, and dirt underneath my house. The plumbing is fine. The plumbing itself is fine, other than the connection was leaking and caused the floorboards to rot away there. So that's not good. That's the downstairs bathroom. Where those the little silver pipe is just to my son's right, sort of right in front of his chest. You see that pipe that's going up? Those pipes used to be old water lines. We don't use them anymore. We have to just cut them out. But the only reason we kept them there is because that's the only electrical ground in the house. Are those pipes with their little copper line wrapped around them. That's my ground. So I need to get a grounding rod and, and ground my electrical before I cut that pipe out. That wall where that pipe is going out. The room behind it where that little red and black case is, that is going to be the shower. That is the closet that's sitting to my left. So we're going to seal up the closet door, I think, or most of it, and make a walk-in shower that starts right where that little H of the pipe is. You see how the pipe comes down, goes over and down? That's going to be like the walk-in area, and then the shower will be straight ahead and to the right. It'll be about a 4 foot by 4 foot shower over there, which will free up a lot of room in the little closet that was the bathroom. So this is what happens when you buy a house that was built in 1915. So thought that was fun. Is your son doing the work? Yes, way too much work. You said your electrical doesn't have a ground. It doesn't. It doesn't have a proper ground. It's just we found a wire wrapped around our old water drain pipe. Yep, tiles have all been hammered off the wall. It's crazy. I need a ground because I'd rather not lose all this. They're built the best. Wow, that's shocking. It is. We love the house. It's beautiful. I just switched to sitting. I've been standing up until I came back this last time.
Graphs empty.
Okay.
The electrical outlets don't have the third prong. They're just the two. We don't have outlets with a prong. We have to use an adapter to plug anything in.
Okay, yes, it is J graph.
I was showing you last time we tore out some walls. This is what I found behind it. A New Jersey 1950s license plate. Made of like steel, solid steel. It's amazing. I think it's bulletproof. Are the kids who are working getting paid in ice cream? Yes. We do root beer floats every day they work. That's and our sincerest thanks. No bodies yet, no bodies. License plate was the ground. Yes. Don't forget the old razor. The old razor we've thrown out. Yes, aluminum wiring. Still good. Still good. I run everything in my studio off a single outlet. What could go wrong, right? Do you have to enclose that window where the shower will be? Yes, we're taking the window out. We'll seal that up. We'll frame that up. Put siding on the outside because the shower will end halfway through the window, and we're not that type of person. Judge is being quiet here. What are you doing, Your Honor? Just seeing if we got anybody else. Judge Middleton was doing his landlord-tenant stuff. Lawrence County Municipal still going on, but the typing is terrible. It's a quiet day. It might be a demo day for me. I might have to go put my gloves on and go to work. How is Bob Ross live? Didn't he pass away like years ago? Is Bob Ross still alive? No. There's a YouTube channel called Bob Ross, Joy of Painting Bob Ross, and he's live. It must be his old recordings. Maybe his estate keeps his YouTube channel alive. That makes sense. Landlord-tenant. No Judge Boyd. She'll probably be back on Monday. No Judge Fleischer. Judge Simpson. Guys, it's lunchtime. That's all I can say. It must be lunchtime. The DDC. Which one's the DDC? Sorry, my brain's slowly waking up. Bob Ross is alive in my heart. His happy little lawyers will get on whoever is streaming his stuff. Sidney Powell's getting a new trial. I did see that. I don't know the date, but I saw the news on that. The people that own the Bob Ross name keep it going. Somebody bought his name? Courtroom 134. Let's check Courtroom 134. Courtroom 134. Ooh, we might have one here.
Set aside these arrest warrants. He approached the bond and issues misdemeanor matters that carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. You have the right to remain silent. You say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed on your behalf. The tickets are P1486650. Improper plates, driving registered motor vehicle, no insurance misdemeanor. Ticket P1486667, driving license not valid. Ticket X4003278, driving license suspended. Unlawful license plate, driver no insurance. These misdemeanor matters, ma'am. We're gonna personal bond, no dollar amount. Pre-trial January 24th in front of Judge King. Now to your main matter. Case number 240-584-3301. City Michigan versus Monique Walk. Appearances, please.
Family Reagan for the people, Your Honor.
Right on behalf of Ms. Walk, Your Honor. Waive the formal reading stand mute. She's been advised of her rights.
All right, court of not guilty plea on behalf of Ms. Walk. Notice that this was a 2-year-old case, and its warrant was nearly signed nearly 2 years later. Bond recommendation, Mr. Ragnon.
People are asking for $100,000 cash surety bond, Your Honor. This defendant pulled up to her house, and there was, I think, 5 teenagers or young people that went over to that house because allegedly her boyfriend had assaulted a cousin of the 2 complaining witnesses. They went over there to try to help the complaining witness. She pulls up and says, "You all here for my son," and pulls out a knife and starts fighting with all of the complaining witnesses and the others, with the juveniles. He then started stabbing victim number 1 at first.
Okay, Mr. Ragnon, I just have a question for you. Do you have any update as to the current physical condition of other victims?
I have no update, Your Honor. All I do know is that this is an alleged act that has witnesses to it, that has 2 people who were stabbed multiple times, treated at a hospital allegedly by this defendant. And I believe, Your Honor, that the case stands for itself. That, the fact that it wasn't issued for 2 years, I don't think should have any bearing on it whatsoever, that the prosecutor didn't get to it, or whatever happened, we don't know. All I know is this is what the facts are, and I'm asking for a cash bond. Thank you.
Mr. Reagan?
Judge, I think this is what the court would note and look at as a hootie-hoo. This was a situation, Judge, where it did not happen in the way in which it's written up in the report. The report is written
Is the attorney wearing a robe?
Prosecutorial standpoint, saying my client gets out of a car, grabs a knife, starts to fight with people. That's not what happened at all, Judge. There was a lot of folks there, a lot more folks there. My client was actually being attacked. And I disagree with Mr. Ragland, Judge, when he says that it doesn't matter that it was 2 years ago. I think it really does matter. I note that things do happen, but those things I feel shouldn't happen. But I do understand there's been no contact in 2 years. She works every day at Jersey Mike's, has her children, college graduate. It's a lot more to this, Judge, than just simply my client pulling up, getting out of a car and stabbing two people. She's charged with 4-year felonies, Judge, 4-year felonies 2 years ago. She's not going to have contact, no prior criminal history whatsoever, no history. I'm asking the court for a personal bond, Judge, with no contact on her behalf.
$50,000 personal bond while the case is pending, ma'am. You're not to possess any handguns, firearms, other dangerous weapons. No contact with Unique Allen or Jatavanina Henderson. Doesn't appear there's been no representations. There's been any contact within the past 2 years, so that should not be an issue. Probable cause January 6th, preliminary examination January 13th. Both from the Judge Jefferson. Step aside.
Step aside.
Okay. All right. Mr. Brown, state your name.
Ronald Brown.
Case number 240-554-9801.
Okay, we got rid of the noisy one.
Ronald Brown. Appearances, please.
Samuel A. Ragland for the people.
Ragland on behalf of Mr. Brown, Your Honor, waive the written stand immunity. He's been advised of his rights.
All right. Court will not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Brown. Bond recommendation, Mr. Ragland.
Well, could you tell me the charges, please?
He's got 2 counts of fleeing and eluding 3rd degree. He's a bitch of 4th offense notice. The date of the offense is March 23rd of 2023. And the warrant was signed January 30th of 2024. So nearly 9 months later was the warrant signed.
We're asking for $25,000 personal bond. I think I already talked to Mr. Reagan about this.
Yep.
Thank you, both of you.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. $25,000 personal bond while his case is pending. No driving.
No drivey for you.
No drive.
He's like, no driving.
Fleeing and eluding.
Okay, I'm just saying, Judge. I understand. Definitely, I understand.
Probable cause January 10th. Preliminary examination January 17th. Both in front of Judge Taylor. All right. Anything? Do you have any questions, Mr. Brown, regarding your bond conditions and/or court dates?
Will I attend my court dates through Zoom or will I have to appear in person?
Both.
Great question.
The first one will be via Zoom. The second one in person.
The most important part is you will be attending your court
What
dates.
days is that?
Probable cause January 10th. Preliminary examination January 17th.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. That concludes the morning docket. See everybody at 2:30.
I have one question I'd like to get answered if I could before we break for lunch. Could Mr. Reagan explain what hootie who means, or is he part of hootie and the blowfish?
Oh no, Mr. Very, very briefly. Back when I wore a prosecutorial hat, Mr. Reagan had like a several-day jury trial, and one of the witnesses yelled out "hootie who," and the whole block came out and fought. And I believe Mr. Reagan got a not guilty on that. Did you not, Mr. Reagan?
I think I did get not guilty on that one.
Yeah.
They actually got up and fought in the courtroom?
No, this was in the block.
No. This was in the middle of a block, and it was 2 ladies arguing, and one lady yelled out "hootie hoo," and the whole block came out, and it was just a big melee.
Okay,
and that's probably the reason why. Yeah, that's why it was. And Mr. Reagan got a not guilty on me. Jury trial.
It's been very entertaining this morning. Thank you, Mr. Reagan, and Your Honor. We'll see you this afternoon. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
All right.
So apparently, don't go downtown and yell "hootie hoo," because it means block fight now. Everyone out of your houses. It's time to rumble. That's what they yell before a brawl, I guess. I learned something new today. I had no clue. It's from the Andy Griffith Throws, says Mindy FS. I figure in some parts of Detroit, it doesn't matter what you yell. If you're out there yelling something, it might cause the same effect. Doesn't matter where you are or what you say. If you hear someone yell it, run. Crazy, I tell you. All right, it's time to stand up again. I've had plenty of rest. Going up. Zoop. There we go. Too far. There we go. All right, I don't think I'll use it, but it's good to know. This is purple coconut. It is. Now you know. You're smarter every day you watch this. All right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to lunch. It looks like there's nothing happening this afternoon to come back to, unfortunately. I wish we could do an afternoon stream. Is Corey Richens out on bail? No, I don't believe she is. I believe she's in custody. She is a flight risk, according to some of the letters that she's written. Yeah, I don't think she's going to get out on bail at all. She's our Park City case. Great-eyed cat. I'm behind, but chat is hilarious. It is. The weekend will consist of me remodeling. If everything goes right, today I'll be able to get access to those two beams. I don't know how to. I have no idea how to repair a joist. I have zero clues. So I will get on YouTube and I'll watch how to fix a house videos, and then I'm going to just try it. So I think here's what I'm going to try to talk Mrs. R.A. I'm not sure if she's watching. I'm going to try to talk Mrs. R.A. into letting me get a nail gun. A nail gun. It's a tool. It's not a toy, but that's the idea. I'm thinking if you want this project done right, I'm going to need probably an air compressor and a nail gun. So let's see if she's going to let me go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I might have to find a battery operated one. Ask Rob, the lumber lawyer. Rob makes fine products out of wood. I don't think he's more of like the framing guy. There's no better way to learn. Can you sister them? My wife was saying something about sistering them, but the original one I can put a screwdriver through. Like I can take a screwdriver and push it through the joist. That's bad. So I need to replace that one. So I don't think I can sister that one. Google Hootie Hoo and Gomer Pyle to see clips from Gomer Pyle, U.S. Marine Corps. Hilarious. It's like Home Improvement, new edition. Invite Rob over. I don't think he wants to do this kind of woodworking. Not at all. Sister them in. Is that when you just put like new ones alongside it? Because the problem is I need to raise the floor. So I'm going to have like jacks down there and stuff trying to move things around. Nail gun and air compressor, best tool ever. I agree. I might see if I can talk Mrs. R.A. to do it. So we'll see. All right. Why did the internet just... YouTube is like trying to get me to do ads again. Like I've told them no like a million times. I just tried to push an ad. I caught it doing it. It's like, we're going to push an ad. And I said, cancel. So hopefully you guys didn't get an ad. Sorry. Slip. Battery-powered air compressors exist. But do they work? Miter saw is my favorite. That's the next thing. I need a miter saw after that. All the tools. The problem is I can't get all the tools. I wish I had a shop where I could put tools. I have no space to put tools. Zero. Like the last closet in the house where something could go is this one, and we're turning it into a shower. So... Melpoy, we're leaving. I will say I've got all the rest of the envelopes. We've got additional ones for Maggie Carr, Stevie, Rhonda, Pam, Kaylee, Trisha, Ricky, Tisha, Melissa, and Matthew. You got one each there. Emily, Melissa, Lindsay, Rick, Christy, Diane, Denise, and Kathy, all going out today. I think I got everybody, and I'll be watching for those self-addressed stamped envelopes for more stickers. We have about 150 or so stickers left. So we'll do that. Not coming back on today. I'm going to be working on the bathroom, and the scary part about working on the bathroom is the floor is bad. So we're tearing the floor out. The floor is suspended probably 6 feet above the dirt under our house because we have a crawl space. But between those two, it's all electrical, rotten wood, old nails, and pipes. So you can't, I mean, if you fall through, it's going to cause some problems. Always drain your air compressor after use. Didn't know that. Will the sticker size fit in each? Yes, it will. It's a 3-inch by 3-inch envelope. They're a 3-inch by 3-inch sticker. It's fit in every envelope so far. We sent out a bunch this morning. If it doesn't fit and you send me one, I'll send you one out anyway. So I'm hitting the wrong button is what I'm doing. If you missed the podcast, it was a yesterday afternoon podcast. It was a lot of fun. So go back and watch it on the replay. It'll be good. Sherry Haynes, hello to Las Vegas. A new room under the bathroom. Build a shed. I've actually got to tear down the shed we have right now. I've never been inside my shed. Like the entire 6 years I've owned it. The thing scares me. I know there are like snakes and spiders and monsters in there. I have no idea what's in it. There could be like a chest full of pirate treasure, and I would never know. Never been inside there. So need to tear it down. The tree branch fell on it. Thought it was going to do the job for me, but it turns out the tree branch itself was a little wimpy and only did a little damage to the roof. So sounds like a good burn pile. If it weren't adjacent to my neighbor's garage, it would be. So I'll have to figure that one out. The body's in the shed. Yes. All right. I'm going to have a wonderful weekend. I hope you do as well. I'll see if I can share some pictures of how the repairs are going, because there will need to be repairs for sure. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone. Make their day just a little bit better. Please stay safe till we go live again Monday morning. It's going to be almost the new year. Couple more days to the new year. You guys have a good weekend. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
If they didn't, I would lose my mind.
In front of the Walmart.
Because he's the guy.